Guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today's episode is resume tips for brand new medical coders. If you're brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue, I'm a medical coder. Okay, I get an email, I get questions all the time. Blue, I'm a brand new medical coder. I have no experience to put on my resume. What do I do? Help. Okay, so here we go. All right. The thing that I always start off by telling people is you have to make sure that your resume looks good. You have to have a good letter, good cover letter, and a good resume. And the reason that I say that this is so important is because these employers, the first impression they're going to have of you is on paper. This is the first thing they're going to see of you. This is the first time that they're going to even get to know you is by paper. So already this has to be good. It has to be good. It has to be right. And the reason that I stress this all the time on my channel about having a good letter, good cover letter, good resume is because so many people get lost in the shuffle because they don't know how to write a resume. Now, if you don't have strong resume writing skills, that is okay. You can still make it. If you follow these tips, it's going to get you on the right path, all right? If you absolutely do not want to have anything to do with writing a resume or doing a resume at all yourself, I do resume rewrites. My rates are in the description box below. I am sure you can find somebody else if you don't want me. But I do resume reviews, rewrites actually. So that way, if that's something that you're interested in, again, contact me and we can set that up. But I always start off by telling people, find out what your professional objective is. If you have a really strong resume, you can update your the job title of what you're looking for in your professional objective. And I keep saying professional objective because sometimes I will see brand new medical coders with either nothing, they don't tell me what they want, or they put professional summary. And professional summary is wrong, especially if you are brand new. Somebody like me who has experience of 13 years, yes, I can put a professional summary because this is all the skills that I'm bringing you. If you have a professional objective, you're brand new and you're saying, hey, this is my objective. This is what I want. Because employers like it when you tell them what you want. They don't like to sit there and play guessing games and, oh, does this person know this? Does this person know that? The more that you tell them cleanly, and we'll get into that in a minute, the better off that you will be. So decide on a very strong objective statement, okay? Don't say, I am looking for a place to utilize my skill. No one cares. What do you want? What do you want? Do you want an outpatient medical coder position? Do you want an inpatient medical coder position? Do you want a pro fee? You need to be very specific. And it's going to be in that job listing, whatever the title is, coder 1, coder 2, coder 3, or whatever, however they have it listed, that's what needs to be in your objective, okay? I am seeking and then you go on with your strong statement, all right? Then you're going to go into your skills. Let's go ahead and do the skills. Now, a thing that I will see that I find is an error every single time is they will say knowledgeable in diagnosis coding, knowledgeable in medical terminology. Okay, first of all, if it's on your skills list, we already know that you're knowledgeable in it. So you don't have to add that word. To employers, those extra words get in the way. And an employer has about 5 seconds to look at your resume and see, okay, this person has everything cleanly listed. I can see here cleanly what they have in their skill, and everything is listed out. So ICD-10-CM, please be very clear on this. I can't tell you, I'm on LinkedIn and I can't tell you how many times I see people, and it's lazy. It just screams laziness because you put ICD-10. There are two. ICD-10-CM and ICD-10-PCS. Which one do you know? If I'm having to sit there and guess and I'm a hiring manager, next, I'm not even going to mess with you because you weren't as specific as you could have been. So ICD-10-CM, that's a skill by itself. So that's what needs to be listed there. Not knowledgeable in, not excellent in, none of that. Just ICD-10-CM. We want it clean. CPT, HCPCS. ICD-10-PCS, if you know ICD-10-PCS, all right? Medical terminology, anatomy, and pathophysiology, those also need to be on there, right? Because a lot of times when you're looking at these job listings, you will see it says candidate must know or have strong background in medical terminology, anatomy, and pathophysiology. So again, those need to be on your skills list and list them in bullet points, all right? Don't list them all together on the same line. Do not do that. I see that, and again, I see the ones on LinkedIn like that. I'm just like, oh no, because I want to be able to see it right away. And those skills are already listed, okay? So now you're filling out your list, all right? Were you trained in medical billing? If medical billing was something that you were trained in and you're applying for a medical biller position, again, it needs to be on your skills list. Medical billing, commercial, private, government, if you were, then you need to go ahead and put that down, all right? So put that down next to that medical billing entry, all right? And your language proficiency, do you speak English? Now, people dismiss me when I say this to put their language proficiency on their skills list. But when you look at these job listings, how many times do you see the employer say that the person must be able to read and write and speak English? So again, if you have that on your skills list, okay, that's perfect. That's something that we asked for, and this person has it on their list. This is a good thing, right? And again, if you are proficient in Microsoft Office, Outlook, Word, Excel, those are the three big ones, all right? And even if you say, well, I kind of know my way around Excel, that's okay. Just put it down. They're not going to expect you to be doing these advanced formulas. And even if they are, I'm pretty sure they'll show you. But if you know your way around, that's good enough, okay? You don't have to be proficient. You just have to know your way around. If you know PowerPoint, that helps, but you don't have to, okay? I didn't know PowerPoint until about 4 or 5 years ago. When I started using PowerPoint. So if you don't know how to use PowerPoint, that's fine. You don't have to put it there, but just make sure that you have that on your skills list. All right. If you are coming over from, the service industry, like, customer service, or, being in retail, or being at restaurants and things like that, and you handled cash, put that on your skills list, cash handling. Okay. Or point of sale transactions, things like that, a credit card machine, if you are trying to apply for a medical biller position, because again, that's going to show, okay, this is a person who knows how to handle cash and how to handle checks and things like that. Okay, so you could put money handling, you could put cash, credit card, checks, if you did that. Okay, so again, put it, on the same line, but just, okay, like, with a colon and then the dot, and then all of the things that you did. All right. So do it like that. So that way you can have that on there. Basic mathematics is another one that I put on for a lot of my clients, because again, we have to know basic math in medical coding. Don't panic. I always know. I'm going to have somebody who says, Blue, I don't know math. Relax. It is plain, simple, plus, minus, multiplication, division math. It is very simple formula math. I mean, it's nothing crazy, all right? So don't even worry about it. If you can do plus, minus math, you're going to be fine. If you can do multiplication and division, again, you will be fine. So, but at least put basic mathematics on your skills. Something to kind of like, okay, they know how to handle money. They know how to, do those types of things. Do not put team player, organized, time management, what else? Courteous, can work at a fast pace. No. Those are soft skills, guys. We want your hard skills. What are your hard skills? And all of those things, all that training that you had, ICD-10, CM, CPT, HCPCS, ICD-10, PCS, and all these other things, those are your hard skills. That's what we want on your skills. We don't want any of those soft skills on your list, all right? You could put your typing speed if you did that. If you know 10 key by touch, and for the people from my generation, you know what I'm talking about. You millennials, I don't know. Or those that were born after 1995, they don't know what 10 key by touch is. 10 key by touch, guys. It's the 10 key pad. You put your finger in the middle on the 5, and then you're able to do that. Do you know that? Yes. Okay, great. You can put it there. But if you don't have that skill, it's okay. But that's your skills, okay? If you know HIPAA, that's your skill. Sometimes people are certified in HIPAA when they're in school. Fine, put that on your skills list, all right? And then you have your jobs. Now, I tell people don't go back more than 15 years. If you have the same employer for 20 years, that's okay. Go ahead and put that down. But if you've had multiple jobs, there's nothing wrong with multiple jobs, all right? There is nothing wrong with multiple jobs. I have had many clients who've had many multiple jobs, and it's okay. They've been successful anyway. I hear back from them all the time, hey, Blue, I got a job. Great. And having multiple jobs never bothered them. Now, if you have a gap, we'll talk about that here in a minute. Now, here's the thing. If you have multiple jobs, only go back 10 or 15 years, all right? And be as specific on the things that you can transfer over, right? So again, if you worked at Dollar General and you had to do stocking and things like that, well, you had to keep track of inventory. So put that on your skills list, on your duties, right? That you kept track of inventory, that you did customer service, you did de-escalation techniques for these customers who were very upset, you know, that kind of thing. So that shows you have some social skill. That shows that you have organizational skill by doing like inventory and things like that. So those are the things that you can add to your transferable skills. Those are all transferable skills. Cash handling, doing any kind of money deposits, those kind of things. If you were a lead, or like a shift supervisor and you had to train other people, or if you were just a trainer, you can put that on there that you trained your coworkers in, you know, whatever it was, you know, like either handling the cash register or handling a different software, you know, whatever software that you're using. And so those types of things, again, are going to be your transferable skills when they see those things, because medical coders have to be able to work autonomously, and we have to be able to know how to do things on our own, is what I'm saying, right? So when you have that, those types of things that you're listing on your jobs, those are saying that, you know, you don't need direction, that you already know how to take initiative. So those are the things that they're wanting to see in those transferable things. Don't come out with 6 or 10 bullets, all right? Maybe go to 3 or 4 bullets of the things that you did for that employer. And don't make them extended sentences, just kind of get to the point. So any extra words, you don't have to put out there, guys. So kind of like look at what you're saying and get it down to the most cleanest way that you can say it. Don't say things like in addition to, or in lieu of, or any of those things. So just get rid of those extra words. Just be very clear and very specific about what you did. If you were supervising, I supervised 12 employees, managed time cards, payroll, coaching, employee coaching, those kinds of things. So it's very quick and to the point. I'm trying to think off the cuff here. But if that's what you did, again, you can do something like that. Every place has something that's transferable. So don't think about, oh gosh, Blue, you know, I did this and I worked at a restaurant and I just don't know how that's going to translate over. Don't overthink about it, guys. When you overthink about it, that's what just kills everything. So think about if you're applying for a medical biller position, right? Just say you wanted to do a medical biller, but you worked in the restaurant industry, right? And you handled tips and cash and things like that. Again, that's handling money. What do you think billers do? And so again, you have to think about the things that can transfer over. If you were coming from the banking industry, okay, you had to keep financial information secure, right? You had to keep people's private information secure. You did that, right? So again, put that on your resume under your job duties. Again, 3 or 4 bullets for every job that you had, and then you can move on from there, all right? But just put things on there that you think that are going to be able to transfer over. Any kind of money handling, any kind of securing of private information, keeping things private would be a good thing. Any kind of training, if you did any cross training with other employees, all right? Those are the things that you want to do. If you were coming from the medical field, right? Say you're a nurse and you're coming from the medical side, okay? I don't need to know that you know how to take blood pressure. I don't need to know that you know how to give medications and things like that. What I do need to know is, what specialty did you work in? Because that to me, when employers see, oh, we got a specialty person here, okay, somebody who's coming from the medical side who's telling us that they have some specialty experience. If I have an ortho nurse, I know that ortho nurse is probably going to be a good ortho coder because they already know like kind of like what goes on in the ortho clinic, right? So be very specific in that, okay? I worked in ortho or orthopedic nurse for 3 doctors, 3 surgeons, manage their schedules, and you can go on things like that. You could talk about the fact that HIPAA and that you keep the patient information private, and you can talk about those things. So get creative and look at the job listing, okay guys? Look at the job listing, because it's not about quantity, it is about the quality of your resume that's going to make the difference, right? So again, if you selected diagnosis codes, then you need to say that you selected from a list ICD-10-CM, CPT, HCPCS codes, ICD-10 PCS codes. If they did that, I don't think nurses do that, but at least those 3. At least I know on the outpatient, maybe if they're having to circle, because a lot of times nurses will tell me, Blue, I've done coding before, and they think that circling on like the super bill is the same thing, and it's not. It is something completely different. But if that's what you did, you have some familiarity with codes. Now being a certified medical coder, that's going to make things a lot more different. But you've already had that exposure, so that's going to help you, okay? So we know we're a little bit more familiar than somebody who is just brand new and starting. Again, my folks that are brand new and starting and don't have medical background, do not get discouraged, because a nurse can struggle just as much as somebody who is brand new. All right, so that is a thing that we are all on level field here. Just because a nurse is a nurse, they may have a little bit more advanced on the medical terminology side and the anatomy, and that's great. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to know more than everybody else, because a lot of times nurses do struggle. And I'm just being honest here. That's the way these things go. So I want you guys to understand that everybody's on level playing field here. What sets people apart is when you truly do understand the coding guidelines and when you truly do take the time to study. So that's what I want to say about, your job listing. So again, my nurses, anybody that's coming over from the medical field, don't make it sound like you want to be in the medical field for that. You don't want to be a nurse again, but talk about the skills that you did, that you transferred over, okay? You can also talk about that you took height and weight and BMI, you calculated BMI. Okay, again, that's something that we know, we're familiar with, okay? In coding, we need to know that information, right? Especially the BMI, and we can get that from the nursing side. So again, the things that you documented as a nurse, then you can go ahead and put that in there, all right? List all the specialties that you worked for, and again, that will kind of help as well. Same thing with my CNAs, all right? And even my medical assistants, all right? And so on your certifications, you can put your certification, whatever certification you have. If you don't want to, if you've been a CNA and your CNA is expired, don't even put it on there, because there's no point in putting it on there. But again, list your certifications and the medical coding certification, make sure that you have it on there. You can put your affiliation with whoever you're certified with, a HEMA or AAPC. That's totally fine. Let's see, what else? Your degree, if you have a degree, you can do that. You don't necessarily have to put your high school diploma on there. Some people do put their high school diploma. You don't need to. They may ask you to show that you've had either a high school diploma or a GED, and that's fine, but it doesn't necessarily need to go on your medical coding resume, all right? All it needs to really be there is where you went to school and what certification that you got. If you self-studied, that's fine. Just go ahead and put your certification and put the association that you're with. Now, I'm getting kind of long here, so I'm going to make this other part quick on the cover letter. Your cover letter needs to not sound like you're making a sales pitch, number one. It doesn't need to be a regurgitation of your resume. If you start listing all the things that you have in there on your resume, in your cover letter, it's no good. It's no good. And so that's where you want to be careful. you need to put on there what you're looking for, obviously, the position that you want to apply for, and of course it should match your resume. You need to put a little bit more about yourself that you didn't put in your resume. That's when you can start talking about your soft skills, right? And also if you're bilingual, okay, this needs to be on there. If you are a polyglot, again, it needs to be on there. What languages are you proficient in, all right? But if you only speak English, don't worry about that. But if you have good communication skills, you know, that's when you need to be talking about that. If you've worked with diverse people, that's the kind of thing that you really kind of want to highlight over there in that side. If you are really good with time management, if you do those kinds of things, that's the time to talk about it. Make it no more than 3 paragraphs, okay? So you have your beginning, you have your middle part, and then you have your closing. So you want to be very careful about the words that you use because you want to get to the point right away. If you have a gap in your employment, that's the time to talk about it. Now, why did you have a gap? If you were raising children, that's all you need to say is you may have noticed a gap, but I was raising my family, I was raising my children, and I am ready to get back into the workforce. You don't have to go into a whole big thing about it. A lot of times people make the mistake of oversharing, right? They overshare about why they were, there's a gap. Gaps are not a big deal, folks. I know, because I write resumes all the time and people still get jobs and they've had gaps. Gaps are not a big deal. But when you get to the point, that's the best part, okay? So either you went back to school, if you were raising children, those are the kinds of things that you can say. You don't have to go into, oh, my kid was sick and, you know, I had to be, no. I was raising my family. That's all they need to know. They don't need to know about your child and their health and everything like that, because the more information that you give them, the more they're going to think, okay, well, maybe we shouldn't go with this person. So you want to make sure that you are giving them just enough information. Do they need to know? People need to be on a need to know basis, right? So again, those are the things that you need to think about when you're writing that cover letter. And it is possible to write a cover letter. Get used to writing, folks. It's only going to be better and more beneficial for you, because the people who complain, I don't like to write. Guys, you're going to have to write queries. You're going to have to write emails to your providers. So you're going to have to get over that I don't like it, because it's part of it. And if you say, well, there's other people that don't do that, that's them. You don't have to do what everybody else does. But if you want to know the way to do things and do them correctly, this is the way, right? Because you want to get good at everything, not just at the coding, but also at presenting. Doesn't matter if you're a shy person. You can still be good at presenting. You can still be good at sharing your ideas, and you can still be good at educating, and you can still be a shy person at the same time. So again, guys, it's not about, I don't like to do this. This field is not about that. This field is you're going to learn. You're going to learn, and this is what we do. Okay, so all these things that you may not want to do, you may not like to do. Do I enjoy every single task that I have as a medical coder? No. But do I do them? Yes, because overall I enjoy it. I love what I do. And I have not worked. You know how they say, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life? That's where I am. And I've been this way since 2014 when I had my aha moment. In 2014, I had an aha moment where I said, I really love this. This is what I love to do. And it doesn't feel like work to me. Even though there are some things, like I said, that are a chore. But it's okay, because I can still accept those things to do in this field. At least that's my advice anyway, guys. But again, if you don't want to write your resume, that's okay. If you want to pay somebody to do it, my rates are in the description box below. I do have some feedback on my on my LinkedIn page if you're interested in seeing some of the comments that I have about my resume writing services. I hope that you'll check it out. I'm on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/medicalcodingwithbleu. I'm there. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Best wishes on your journey. And if you haven't had a chance to, please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see y'all again. Bye.